Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thanks a lot for being here on this very first day. Welcome to AQUA 2024. Welcome to this second HERMES workshop. I think I speak for everyone in the organizing committee when I say that really thank you for being here on this very first day at the very first hour. We know I have like tons of very interesting workshops to be at the same time, so we really appreciate you being here. Let me first introduce you to the people that made this workshop possible. So this workshop was organized by Professor Miguel Olivares, head of the Space Robotics Group at the University of Luxembourg, Professor Teresa Vidal, Research Director at the Robotics Institute of the University of Technology, Sydney, Professor Ras Tilak, who's here, co-director of the Sensor AI Lab and lead in the Swarming Lab at the Delft University of Technology, Professor Zreya Santra, who is over there, Assistant Professor at the Space Robotics Lab at the University, Tohoku University, Arjun, who is chairing the next session, researcher in the Department of Perception and Cognition at the German Aerospace Center, and myself, my name is David. I'm a researcher at the Advanced Quantum Architecture Lab at EPFL. I would also like to extend our appreciation to each and every member of the scientific committee. And before we kick things off with our first presenter, allow me a few minutes to explain what HERMES is and where it comes from, how it all started. So it was actually around late 2021, early 2022, when I found myself having a lot of one-on-ones with different people within the space robotics community about multi-agency for space exploration. And I realized a couple things. One was that all of these conversations were, for the most part, redundant. The same challenges, ideas, needs for capabilities were brought up by different people. And on the other side, we were lacking a critical, scientifically grounded justification for the deployment of these teams of robots in such remote locations, beyond, of course, our eagerness as roboticists to do so. The first one was fairly easy to solve. I basically put everyone on the same Zoom call and gave them a name, HERMES, which stands for Heterogeneous Multi-Robot Cooperation for Exploration and Science in Extreme Environments, not a mouthful whatsoever. And the second one took a bit more iterations, but we ended up coming up with a proposal for a workshop in 2023, which was presented in London, in which we wanted to do something a bit different. So we not only wanted to invite our community, roboticists like you, but we also wanted to invite environmental and planetary scientists to come to this workshop and tell us what their needs were, so that then we could have, at last, a real justification for, okay, why our robots can do and how we can solve their problems, which is what we're all here for in the end. So this actually worked incredibly well, at least in our opinion. It was actually, just an anecdote, it was actually pretty interesting to see how one of the most engaging, if not the most engaging presentation at last year's workshop was not one given by a roboticist, but by Professor Julia Smale, who's an environmental scientist at the Extreme Environments Research Lab at EPFL. Her presentation was about how us, roboticists and researchers in robotics, could better help the needs of her and her team when during polar scientific expeditions. And the amount of questions, the discussions afterwards was just incredible. So this year, however, though, we wanted to do something a bit different. So last year we focused a lot. Oh yeah, you have all the recordings in our YouTube channel. If you want to check those out. Another somewhat related, outcome and a bit of a shameless plug is that we found the need for a top quality, high quality academic conference on the subject of space robotics. So again, led by Professor Miguel Olivares and his team at the University of Luxembourg, the International Space Robotics Conference was born. And this is going to take place this year for the first time between the 24th and 27th of June. And it's an IEEE technically sponsored conference. And even though the call for papers, the deadline for the call for papers has already passed, there's still a chance to submit late-breaking results until the end of this month. So check it out, and I hope to see you all there in June. So as I was saying, for this year, we wanted to do something a bit different. So last year, the scope of the workshop was pretty much focused on, broadcasting capabilities. A lot of people came from different groups, and they were telling us what their robots could do, what they were working on in this domain of multi-agency, heterogeneity, and remote locations or extreme environments. But this year, we wanted to narrow down that scope, and we wanted to focus on one individual capability or top priority need that we realized that it could bring a lot more value to the scientific community. So for this year, you're going to hear all about perception and sensing with these teams of robots in extreme environments. But we also want to hear from you as to what these top priority capabilities could be or should be. So if you want, you can scan this QR code or just go to slido.com and use that number. I don't know if you can see it all the way from the back, otherwise it's 2237010. And please submit your ideas as to what this might be, and we may use it. We will review them at the end of the workshop. So I don't want to take too long. Here you have the program for today. You also have it on our website. This workshop is split in 3 sessions. So each focused on a specific domain of an extreme environment. So we have all the way from space, or well, all the way from underwater, on-ground, terrestrial, and space. We're going to start with the space. And we're going to have longer presentations, 35-minute presentations from invited speakers, 5-minute spotlights. I apologize in advance for those of you coming to present posters. We were supposed to have poster boards, but for some reason we couldn't find them. I don't know if we found a solution for that. We're working on it. Okay, cool. So eventually you will be able to hang up your posters. I'm really sorry about that. And yeah, without further ado, let me introduce you to, well, Arjun, who is going to be the chair of the first session of the day. Thank you very much.